All right. I'm Tim Scoggins. I'm calling the Shaftsbury Select Board to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, April 6, 2015. We're actually meeting first as the Shaftsbury Water Board to go over the Water Board's FY16 budget. And Jim McGinnis, our Water Superintendent, and his assistant Joe Herman are here. So, Jim.
Okay, everyone received the proposed budget.
Yes, and I've got it up here.
Okay. This is the revenue is predicated on us building 14.5 million gallons in the next fiscal year. We have also to have adjusted the expenses. One of the things that will go up markedly is our need for outside services. The person we had operating, doing most of our work for us is retiring and semi-retired now. So we are going to have to go out and get other vendors and pay more of a market rate than we had in the past. That amount for outside services jumped from 2,000, we anticipate, to 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking backhoe?
Backhoe, yes. Mm-hmm.
Why can't you use town backhoe?
Pardon?
Why can't you use a town backhoe?
There's a major project either they have going on or we need it, and we never know when we're going to need it for emergency.
But was that before you had the excavator? They've got an excavator and a backhoe now, so I doubt if any day that
I
they're
don't have
both
a problem if you
going.
want to use the town now, but the only thing I have a problem is that the manpower we do use and the vendors we use, and you know, Ken, you're a vendor yourself, that all thing that I hire out for a contractor to go out for a job, that contractor does the work, he gets in the hole and does everything with me or by himself. He can do all that stuff. Highway crew can't do that. They just mainly do the digging. They don't have the knowledge. I'm not nothing against them, but they don't have the knowledge of going in and doing whatever, you know. They do
So
have
it's
the knowledge of
plumbing,
digging a
not
hole.
just digging a hole. We're talking about plumbing, not just digging a hole.
Right, yeah.
Who were you using?
Well, Phil Harrington, Matt Morris, Ken, you know.
Okay.
But the prices of things going up, we
Oh,
have
yeah,
always
abs-
kept them down low. Well, you know, the prices are going up, so we
Okay,
had to
so
get it back up
Phil's
to
the
where it
one that's
belongs
retiring?
on it.
Is Phil the one retiring?
Yeah.
Okay, but there's still Matt Morrison,
Right.
okay, yep.
And these people, all three of them, they know the systems, they know, you know, plumbing. So if I walk off a job and say, finish it up there, I gotta catch up with this over here,
Okay,
it's done,
we'll try it.
you know.
Yep.
Okay, other expenses generally there haven't been any other major changes. One slight change is that we are now being charged $4.25 per 1,000 gallons of water by North Bennington. So what we're anticipating, and it shows up in the revenue part, is that we are, instead of charging $7.50 a 1,000 as we have in the past, it'll now be $7.75 a 1,000. All of those changes are reflected in the budget figures that are presented there for the revenue.
Can they just change that anytime they want, or do we have a set price with them, or?
No, we don't have any agreement with them. We simply, whatever the North Bennington Water Board sets as a rate, we have to pay.
It's, okay, our rate's the same as North Bennington now?
No,
No?
no. North Bennington charges all of their users $4.25 a 1,000.
Yeah.
It is the same as our wholesale rate is the same as North Bennington.
Yeah.
The people in North Bennington pay the
Pay
wholesale rate.
The wholesale rate.
But we can't do that to our residents. We have to charge them more money because we have a budget and everything else.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I didn't know if they could just arbitrarily say, okay, well, 4's nice, but 10's better.
No,
Yeah.
it's been, I sit on the board, it's been 3 years since they had a raise, $4, and with the tax, from the town and everything else being brought up, they raised it 25 cents across the board, everybody.
Yeah.
And plus chemicals have gone up and everything else, so, I mean, 25 cents is not too bad at all, I don't think, but.
Yeah, just as a reminder, the bulk of that tax increase was the result of the business with the taxing of the land where the water plant sits. Our listers and appraiser, when they were going through digitizing the tax maps, discovered that that land was not on the tax maps. And in consulting with the state how to deal with that, the state said, you have to tax that. And so we gave North Bennington a tax bill. There was, they contested it late, so they didn't hear the appeal, but in the end, we didn't hear the appeal or agree to the appeal, but the result in the end was they raised rates across the system to pay that tax. And I think that was a fair way to deal with that. We were just doing what the state told us we had to with that.
So,
I'm sorry, one other thing is, we do have an agreement, and I guess I'm not sure whether to call it a contract or a memorandum of understanding between North Bennington relative to water and the town of Shaftsbury, and there are grievance processes and ways to work through things. So it's not like they can just double our water rate and we can't do anything about it. There's a cooperative
I
arrangement
bet
there.
you this public service board would enter into that too, because they're a public service and they just can't.
Right, right. But we have no reason to worry that they're going to do anything like that.
okay, the budget as we have at this point right now, we feel comfortable with, and that it can be balanced. Also, too, an unknown here is how much water will actually be used. Case in point, we looked at 14.5 million gallons for the year. Right now, looking at it, we're probably going to, in this 6-month period, which will be the first bill that will be coming out, we're going to be probably a little under 8 million gallons for that 6-month period. So it depends on people's use. In the summertime, if we have a wet season, use will not be that high. People won't need to water gardens, plants, etc. If it's a dry one, yes, usage will go up. So that we looked at it and said, hey, let's just anticipate a revenue coming from about 14.5 million gallons a year and try to live with that. If it's more, it is what it is. And also, too, this allows us to put more into a contingency fund in order to keep the system up to specs. A lot of the pipes in the ground have been there since 1937. And those of us who happen to be born in the year 1937, we don't look as good or are as good as we once were. So with that in mind, we are, if you look there, there's a contingency fund down there, and that then would pass into our reserves, so that if something should happen of a semi-catastrophic nature, we'll have funds on hand to handle it.
That transite pipe stands up better than the cast iron anyway, don't it?
Well, it depends on, some of it does. It depends on, vibrations.
Yeah, no corrosion there though.
No, that's true. But-
No corrosions in the way it's been laid in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had
Same.
an opportunity to assist another utility, and they had cast iron just laid on shale. Now, that was in the ground about the same number of time.
yeah.
And, yeah, with all the frost we had, the pipe heaved, and it couldn't give.
Yep.
Yeah, because they had it just laid on shale as opposed to sand or to buffer the effects. So, yeah, ours, what I've seen, what limited experience I've had here, I think that you're doing rather well.
Thanks to your father.
Yeah, I know, I was gonna say, you put in quite a lot of it.
You put in a lot of it, yeah. Overall, in the total budget there, we had it would only be $11,125,000 increase, which is not bad. Our budget to run the operating system, just to run the system, was up $7,000. So I don't think the budget's too bad. This is just a, what do we want to call this again?
A draft?
A draft, yeah. I was just going blank on it. So, well, after we read our meters this month, we'll be able to see if we need more or less or whatever on it, which we're going to be reading in the next few weeks. So by the end of this month, we should know exactly where we're standing and how we're doing. And right now, I don't see any problem really, but we don't know yet until we get that big reading in. Because we did have a frost, and we did have people running water for quite a while, 4 people, so. But it totals up, but we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, everybody on the frost line that we had freeze-ups are all back online with no problem, so.
Didn't have that many anyway, did you?
Huh?
Didn't have that
We
many?
had 4.
Four?
I had one lady who was 7 weeks. She finally broke. Cleveland Avenue, Adeline Fine's house.
Yeah.
Lady living there, it finally broke last week. We couldn't not get her thawed out no matter what. We tried everything, steamed it, welded, everything. We just
What is
couldn't
it,
have
shallow or?
Ken, I have no clue, but we'll find out this summer.
Sounds like what you might want to dig up.
We certainly are. We certainly are. I got my sandbox and shovel already. I didn't know if the board has any other questions or anything on it?
I have no questions. Anybody else?
Sounds
good to me. No? Sounds
What
good.
is the policy? If there's a freeze up and it has to be dug up, it's the water board, it's our
Yeah, it's, yes,
responsibility?
our
First freeze up.
responsibility to provide the water.
Yeah, okay then.
We take half the bill and then they take half. The second time, if they freeze up, they don't listen to us, then they pay half of it, and then we pay half.
Yeah, all right,
But we take care of it
thank you.
on it, which we didn't do really too bad on it this year.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, okay. I have a gentleman here who,
The only thing I'd like to say is, we're on TV, gentlemen, and I know the situation they're in right now. Be no names,
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Well,
this too.
it-
I would think that,
you know, understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
If this is a water bill issue, is it better handled the way we
Yeah.
normally handle water
Yeah.
bill issues, or is this something that we need to address in public as a board?
okay, what I've done today is I served everyone to include this one particular property with notice that the bill has to be paid by the 30th of April or on the 1st of May. You turn it off. Okay, we're going to have to do some work on that particular property. To do that, because the pipe holding the valve is filled with sand.
The cap was broken off and dirt and everything else fell in there, so it has to be cleaned out and
Yeah.
we process.
Okay, so
through.
we're going to be doing that before the 1st of May. So that if we have to, we will. We're going to ensure that capability.
You're saying that's a standpipe, the shut off.
Standpipe,
Yeah.
that's right, the curb stairs.
You can't turn that rod there down there because
you
of the stone and the sand and everything.
Cat that broke off?
Cap broke off, yeah, and all that dirt just fell in there.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll use a hose and the dry vac, wet vac rather, try to get it up, and if we have to dig, we're going to have to dig.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna be digging, boys.
Yeah, well, it depends on how kind Mother Nature is to us.
I wouldn't count on it. I think you're gonna be digging it up.
In any case, I think that,
Excuse me, cap was broken by nature or it was tampered with?
I have no idea.
Could have been a snowplow.
No, it's, if it did, the snowplow was off the road by about 20 feet.
Oh, okay, well, that's not
Took a shovel and filled it in.
That's certainly a possibility, just that, in other words, that's not the point. The point is, hey, we're seeking to recover $3,300 in revenue that we don't have. We provided the service and we never got the payment.
Oh, I just got this. I've never set foot on the property.
Yes. I'm the ex-water superintendent, I have, yes.
Pardon?
I'm the ex-water superintendent, yes, I have been on the property, been in the house,
I haven't.
because in the back there used to be a trailer back there.
I never set foot on it.
Just so, I don't think we understand what we're arguing about here. There's you bought a property and the previous owner is in arrears on water, is that the situation?
Let's
Is
just
this the one
say
that bought
that-
it for the tax sale?
Huh?
Is this the
Yeah,
guy-
this, the one.
Yeah.
tax sale?
I think, if I may, I think there's aspects to this that are of a legal nature and should probably be done in a different format than this. I do know some background on this and some of the issues on the table. I don't know if we need to protect our positions here.
Yeah, I think, I'm not comfortable talking about a past due bill with no names in an open meeting, so would you be agreeable to meeting with me and Jim to find out so I can find out what the situation is here, and then...
Well, if you have to be informed of what's been going on before you make this.
Right, so let's, are you okay if we do it that way? Can meet any time.
After this.
Starting,
Every time I come here, I drive 2 hours.
yeah, I think we just need to find out what the situation is. The select board needs to find out what the situation is and then decide how to handle it. So I can meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Sometime between 11 and 2.
Can you, where?
Can we meet here?
Sure, upstairs or down?
That depends on where we can find privacy,
It'll probably
which,
be up here. Because
It'll
there's
probably be
nowhere
up
to
here.
park downstairs. Come in downstairs, though.
1 o'clock, yeah, okay, good.
Can you be here, Jim?
Yeah.
All right, good, thank you. We'll work through it then. Okay, any more water board business? All right. Well, then I will call the water board meeting adjourned, or move we adjourn the water board meeting. All in favor?
Second. Aye.
Aye. And then we will stand adjourned for 12 minutes and start the select. Okay. Welcome, I'm Tim Scoggins. I'm calling this meeting of the Shaftsbury Select Board to order at 6:30 on April 6, 2015. First item of business, does anyone have a conflict of interest with anything appearing on the agenda this evening?
Done.
No?
No.
Approval of minutes. We have a number of minutes from a number of meetings that we need to approve. They've all been circulated. I believe everyone has seen them. I move that we approve minutes for February 9, February 16, March 16, also town meeting night, March 2nd, and also the town meeting itself minutes from March 2nd. Is there a second?
I'll second. But I'm going to abstain from the town meeting minutes and the March 2nd minutes.
Oh, that tells me why we can't do this in bulk. Okay. All right, let's start over. I move that we approve minutes for February 9th.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote is 500. Are we taking,
400.
400.
400, yes, thank you. Are we taking minutes, or is Jen going to do it from
It's
the
being, we're
tape?
going to take them off that, and we're going to take them off the recorder.
Okay, good. All right, let me go ahead and sign this. Okay, I move we approve minutes from February 16.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 400. February 16. I move we approve minutes from the Select Board meeting.
No, you can without Tony, because,
Pardon?
I don't know if you can, because Ken and I were,
That's right, there were
No.
two of you missing.
Yep, we can't do that without Tony. Okay, we're going to have to postpone the Select Board meetings from town meeting night because there were only 3 selectmen there and only 2 of them are here.
Okay, so I'll take these two back.
Same is true for the town meeting notes, town meeting night minutes. Okay. The minutes, they won't go away. Okay.
one more,
These book has to wait, I guess.
Is there one,
March 16th.
March 16. I move we approve the minutes from March 16.
Second,
Any discussion?
none here.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yep, 400. And so you cannot need to print a different one, or can I go
Yeah,
ahead and
just
sign
sign, you know what, if you just sign that, we won't have to print off another one. Thank you.
All right, 3 out of 5, not bad. Warrants. All right. I move we approve retirement warrant number, oh, come on, I figured this out. Number 20, in the amount of $84.81.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved 400. I move we approve retirement warrant number 19 in the amount of $130.37.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved 400. Move we approve a check reimbursement. I don't see a number to the treasurer of the state of Maine, or this is a bill to the treasurer of the state of Maine for $150 for RSMS program. This is a program that David is getting the crew to use to plan and document road crew operations.
Yeah, it's a highway management plan.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, 400. And this is payroll warrant number 19. Payroll warrant number 19 in the amount of $18,067.62. Move we approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 400. Retirement warrant. Number 20DB in the amount of $7,616.25. I move we approve. Yeah, there's one or two employees whose retirement is paid quarterly or annually instead of by the month, so it ends up being a big chunk.
Second.
Yeah, it's just different ways that they're done. Over
Yeah.
time, they've changed.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's approved, 400. This is payroll warrant number 20 in the amount of $17,947.49. I move we approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 400. Check warrant number 20. In the amount of $46,787.77 to Witten, Wilmington, and Campbell.
Is that a typo?
That's the last page of the entire warrant. That's what I would think. Yeah.
Thank you.
You had me
Okay.
there for a minute. That's a big,
Yeah,
big law bill there.
$50,000 bill from the lawyer, oh my God.
He's just the last
Okay,
entry.
sorry, let's try that again. This is check warrant number 20 with a whole lot of different stuff in the amount of $46,787.77. I move we approve.
Second.
Major items on this are Blue Cross Blue Shield for $6,500. Nope, I'm sorry. Yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield for $6,500. Sheriff for almost $2,000. Green Mountain Power for $1,100. Miles Supply for $3,100.
That's the methane monitor.
Oh,
Well,
good.
supplies and Barry.
Good, Miles Supply, okay. TAM for $6,200. VLCT for $1,000. VRS Sales for $1,100.
I went by that one. Give me a moment to think of them.
VRS Sales Limited, $1146.86. William E. Daly, $2,800. William E. Daly, $4,400. And Witten, Wilmington, and Campbell, a measly $487.
It's quite the discount we just got.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Check warrant is approved, 400.
You want to see the other sheets?
Do you all want to see the other sheets? Are there any announcements?
BRS is service to the fire trucks.
Okay, thank you.
Couldn't remember what it was.
Yes, I have an announcement. Ordinary Heroes Day will be May 30th this year at the Galusha Homestead from 2 to 4. Come on up and see Shaftsbury's newest ordinary hero.
Want this or just leave it here?
All right, great. Send Dave an email and we'll get that up on our website.
We're just finalized the flyer.
Any other announcements? Any public comments? Okay, adoption of Select Board rules and procedures. I believe we got that fixed with the proper names for the current Select Board.
Shaftsbury Country Store off there, and I move we approve the rules and procedure for the Shaftsbury Select Board.
Second.
Okay, the rules and procedures for the Shaftsbury Select Board are moved by Mitch Ray, seconded by Art Whitman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved 400. The annual meeting schedule, it ended up down there at 15. Without objection, I'm going to move the adoption of the annual meeting schedule up to this point because it's kind of a housekeeping thing.
I noticed that on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it ended up down there. The annual meeting notice has been changed only slightly. The Economic Development Committee is going to start meeting, when they do start meeting, they're not meeting currently regularly, on the second Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. at Whitman's Feed Store. And I believe that's all the changes there, except I believe we had to make a correction to the town website.
The rec committee was also changed to the fourth Monday to 1 PM.
Okay, this says meets as needed, so it is the,
Yeah, the updated one that I put in, you need to change that to the fourth Monday of each month at 1 PM here.
at 4 p.m.?
1 PM.
1 p.m. Okay.
Move to accept the annual notice of meetings as amended.
Second?
The annual notice of meetings is, schedule is moved by Mitch Ray, seconded by Art Whitman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The annual meeting notice annual notice of meeting schedule is approved, 400. Is Judy going to want me to sign?
Yeah,
sign
if
that?
if
Okay.
you could.
I can
send me-
stop by and do that.
Yeah, just send me a clean copy and we'll do that. Because we do just want to start recording everything.
All right, number 8, appointment of Jackie Myers as Town Health Officer. Jackie, please come up. Oh, good, and you got your,
She's this.
got her
it's
oath
already
and
set up,
everything?
yep.
Okay. As I indicated last meeting, the default position for Town Health Officer goes to the Select Board Chairman. I was desiring to not have that extra duty, and I spoke to Jackie Myers, who has recently raised her hand for Town Service Officer, and she has agreed to be our Town Health Officer. And Jackie, tell us a little bit about yourself again, if you would, and
Sure. I'm a business owner. I've had a preschool center over in the Grange building for the last 7 years, but I've been doing it for 23. I own a school-age program in Bennington, and I have a transportation service that I contract out with the Child Development Division and the Department of Children and Families. And I'm a guardian at Lightham, a town service officer. And-
that Tony works with.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of purchasing red brick for an infant toddler center. So very busy.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, we appreciate your volunteering. Jackie and I have talked about the town service, the town health officer job and what is entailed, and she's willing to do the job. I believe she would be a good choice, and I move that we appoint Jackie Myers as town health officer.
Second.
Seconded by Mitch. Any discussions or more questions for Jackie? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Jackie, you are appointed by a vote of 400.
Thank you.
Thank you
Welcome aboard.
for volunteering.
It's a date up at the top and then just the signature and printed name at the bottom.
Okay. There's also please give a brief statement of why the select board believes the recommended individual will make a good health officer. I've written a very brief statement of why that is, and I will attach that to the application that we send to the commissioner who will do the actual appointment. We are really just making a recommendation. And that letter is very much like the letter that Mitch wrote for me when I was appointed town health officer.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it for myself, but we put your name on it.
Yes, I remember.
All right. Next, appointment of Michael Day to the DRB. This is as an alternate to the DRB.
That is correct.
Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
You have been an alternate for a year, I believe,
Correct.
and alternates have to be reappointed annually. And you're willing to continue to do the job, obviously, because you're
I
here.
am.
Tell us what your first year has been like.
It was a fair amount of diversity in terms of different kinds of things which came before the board, and certainly I find it interesting, and I'm certainly more than willing to continue on
Good.
in an alternate capacity, for sure.
Any issues came before you that you thought deserved select board attention?
No big issues, no. We have been in the process of updating the rules of procedure for the DRB, and we will hopefully conclude that sometime, probably not till the first meeting in May, but we have been working on that, and I think that one of the things that we found is, in terms of what has been available on the website is a couple issues old, not current, and also there's not a date, and we've made some modifications to them. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, Dave, but I think you received a copy.
I got a copy this morning. I did not get a chance to read it today.
And in terms of some things that help people who might pull that down from the website to, how many pages, page X of X, X of Y type of a thing, so that you don't know, so you're not missing things. A revision history has been included so that people know whether they're working off of the most current copy and things of that nature. So it might be something to be looked at for other town/board documents. So we should be wrapping that up soon.
Excellent.
Okay, I just made a note to myself to talk to Tom about that, because that's a significant issue, actually. DRB, just like the Select Board, is subject to the Open Meetings Act. And
Yes.
the new Open Meetings Act says some set of minutes, approved or not, has to go up on the website, if the town has a website, within 5 days of a meeting. So if we're falling behind on those, I'll talk to Tom and see if there is something that we can do to
The
facilitate.
minutes might be all right, possibly, I think.
I think he was talking more about the documents.
Some of the other documents, some
Oh,
of
okay.
like the rules of procedure and so on, some of the, longer standing things that are not updated period, like minutes are issued
Yes.
following meeting,
Yes,
not
okay.
something like that. Reference documents that town residents might want to look for, and they go to the website and they won't necessarily find the most current edition.
Okay. Yeah, we've had similar issues
Yeah.
with select board stuff where we'll approve a change to something, and then we all walk out the door thinking it's done, and then come back later and can't agree on what we approved at that
Yeah.
time. So we have got new procedures where Dave and the town clerk, Judy Stratton, sit down every Tuesday and go over the what happened at the meeting the night before and make sure they have access to updated documents and that they're going into the archives.
Everybody on the select board meet Ken and Art?
From last year,
All right. Any questions for Mike?
Thank you for volunteering.
Motion?
Yes.
I make a motion for one more year.
All right, we have a motion from Art Whitman to appoint Michael Day as an alternate to the DRB for a year, seconded by Ken Harrington, did I hear?
Yep.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved, 400. Thank you.
The list of the DRB members that's on the website, I looked at one, I think it has me for a 3-year term, which obviously isn't correct,
Oh, okay.
and it does not include the other alternate,
All right.
Jay Palmer. So,
Yeah, whenever you see these things, because the website is off-site, and
Yep.
you know, there's so many things on it that if you see something,
now,
let
it
us
can be
know.
a,
We'll
it
get
can be a
it
struggle
changed.
staying on top of all the different pieces and parts.
Yeah, the answer is send an email to Dave, and then we're funneling all of that to Dave so that he can funnel it to the lady who does the updates, so she doesn't get yelled at from a lot of different
Yeah.
directions. But to the public as well, if you see something on our website that you know is out of date, let us know, because there are just a lot of pages there. We can't keep track of all of them.
Jay is
We're-
not on
We'll have it updated probably the same day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report. We don't have a treasurer, I see.
Melanie is coming. I
okay.
suggested she come at 7. I didn't think we'd make such grand progress here.
Yeah, we're good.
So if we skip down, I can do a quick road forms report.
Okay, let's skip over 10 and go to 11 for the road foreman's report.
Right now, as things stand, the mud hasn't really appeared. We haven't really had a mud season. It's a matter of opinion on how bad it will be at this point. With the rain coming in the next couple of days, I guess we'll know for sure. Basically, with the road department, the budget, the overtime has basically come to a halt since we did the comp time. We are, well, I was going to do this while Melanie was here, but let me go to the highways for a minute. Right now, as of the close, March 31st, of period 9, we had about $1,200 left in the gravel budget. So that clearly, depending on the severity of the mud season, is going to go over. The salt budget was up significantly this year, but if you take into account the fact that the price went up so much, most of this increase is just from the increase in price. If we use the figure that we projected for fiscal 16, we would only be 4,000 over on salt, which isn't bad for this season.
Have you touched,
Oh, yeah, we've almost emptied it.
at either
Yeah, we've
square?
been putting it over here.
Okay,
We're trying to take as much out as we can.
okay.
And because come next fall, we'll stockpile that again.
Sure.
And we'd like to get it off their property. Winter sand had 6,000 left. And the big one that went over this year was the capital improvements that went over 19,000 during the summer on the different road projects. But as it stands, the highway construction and maintenance budget is at 90% used so far. It reflects, when you go through NIMRIC, it reflects differently because included in the budget amount is $97,000 for the sidewalk project. So to get an honest reading, you have to take that out, and we've used 90% so far. And some of that is committed already to the first round of the mowing, which will be in June, which will be this fiscal year. So we are going to be somewhat over on the highway maintenance budget, and it's really directly attributable to the winter, the amount of salt, the Christmas mud season we had, which was pretty expensive. So hopefully things will go fairly well from this point, and the mud season won't be as bad, but I wouldn't think we would spend much more than the 14 to 16 we spent at Christmas time, because that was quite extensive. But it will be up a bit.
Well, when you say we're at 95%, you're talking about the total highway budget?
No, just that segment of it.
Okay.
Construction and maintenance. Yeah, overall, the budget is, well, I was going to wait for Melanie, but overall, the budget is running at 76.
No, I mean the highway budget. we're at 95% of the total highway
The
budget?
maintenance.
The maintenance, construction and maintenance, not payroll, that doesn't include payroll or anything.
Okay.
That's just signs, tree removal, capital improvements, rentals, things like that.
Okay.
We should be towards the end of that right now. You know, the winter is extraordinary, and it's eating up what would be left over. So we will definitely max that budget out, and that part of the overall budget will be over what was budgeted for.
Okay, but it doesn't leave it much money for fixing things that we find from mud season until July.
Yeah, well, actually, the real problems that we discover at mud season would have to be done in the capital improvement budget, the Class 3 road fund, because when we're into rebuilding like a 400 or 500-foot section, each one of those will cost several thousands of dollars that aren't
Yeah, but we can't spend that money until July.
until July 1st, yeah, because the capital improvement budget for this fiscal year has been gone since last October.
Okay.
So anything that we find that we repair during mud season and the things that we identify for major rebuilding will all be in fiscal 16. And we'll finish them, and some of them won't even start till August, just as scheduling comes up. Really, through the beginning, I mean, it's almost mid-April, and we haven't had the mud season yet. So by the time we get through mud season and get grading and ditching and things done, we'll be hard up against July anyway. And the crew all has a significant amount of comp time to take off, so the number of man hours is going to decrease too. So we'll be able to get through to July, and then we can really start the repair cycle. And that includes whatever grant money we get, which we'll bring up later on, the grants we're going for from the state.
Okay.
The rest of the highways is all running at being the end of the third quarter, it's all running at 76%. And the equipment maintenance is 72%, the garage is exactly at 75%. So it's pretty much exactly, everything's right where it should be. The wild card is always how bad the winter is, and this one was pretty bad. So that will come up a little bit higher. But as I said, for the planning from here on out through the end of the fiscal year, it'll be doing all the regular maintenance to bring the roads back up to par after mud season, the grading and the ditching. Construction will be later on, so. But you have to anticipate that that area of their budget is going to exceed the amount, I would say by a good $10,000-$20,000 probably. And again, you know, we lost out on a few things, mostly salt. And salt skyrocketed before we even put any down. We were out a good $15,000, so. And then the Christmas melt, I mean, that happens, and either you let the roads go to mud or you address them just like it was a regular season, so it's just going to turn out to be higher.
Okay.
Let's see, what else is going, oh, the truck. The truck is being finished by Viking, or their parts are being finished. Mike from Viking came down to see me last week. We had a discussion about what we wanted. He is replacing Steve Washburn, and Dave Worthington had driven up to Viking to inspect this. They are replacing almost every moving part on it, and there aren't that many, because this is just a dump body and the plow and wings. So they're replacing cylinders, everything that Steve and Dave asked to be replaced are being replaced. The body itself is being sandblasted and repainted because we didn't like the paint job. We're virtually getting a new piece of equipment from them, even though it's had to be reworked a little bit. We expect that to be done fairly soon. Steve Washburn's perfectly fine driving it down. He's inspected the vehicle. He thinks it's ready to go. And so he's going to drive it down to Delores, and at Delores, our Frontier adjusters will catch up with Dave Delory there, and they'll go through the international truck portion of it, and we'll take it from there. I spoke to our new claims rep at our agency, our insurance company, I should say, and he said, just get it, take it to Delores, do everything. We're going after these people. So we're just going to follow his advice, go get it. As soon as it's ready, give it to Delores, have them fix it, and the insurance company will take on what they need to get their money back. And then that'll wrap up this
Fiasco.
Yeah, Fiasco, thank you. 'Cause that
Did
is
they,
a-
did they change any of the tires on it, Dave?
that'll all be when it gets down to Dolores.
It's part of the international.
Yeah,
Yeah. Everything there from a new paint job up will be done here by Dolores.
right. But I
'cause
just wondered if the heat damaged any of the tires.
Steve doesn't think there's any problems with the tires. I had some problems with some of the things that Viking's subcontractor did, like replacing the front grille of the truck and the mirrors. It looked like they started to paint the cab. It's like, what are you people doing? No one's authorized you to work on our truck.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions about that, but the insurance company has put on a gentleman with a lot of fire experience in vehicles, so I think it's best to follow his advice and get it down here, have their people and Dolores go through it, and they'll take on TDI's people. And Viking too, because Viking has been very cooperative and want to get this done, but they're also saying, there's limits to what we can do, because if your insurance company is going after our subcontractor, it's going to have to be through us. So, everyone's kind of trying to protect their position. So, I think we let the insurance companies do what all three of us are paying them to do, and that's pretty much argue with each other until we get the truck
I
fixed.
mean, my concern is there's so much electronics and all this stuff today.
Absolutely, and that's the first thing, because I did disagree strongly with the first person from our insurance company who was calling it cosmetic, and that's when we got a new person with more fire experience on it. And the Frontier Adjusters, who works for our insurance company, has been excellent, because I spoke to them right away. They immediately were like, there's nothing ever cosmetic about a truck being near heat.
No,
It's
I mean,
Yeah.
with all them circuits in there and stuff,
Yeah.
you melt stuff that you don't even see.
Yep, and Frontier did a preliminary up in Swanton, and as soon as it gets down to Dolores, they're sending their adjuster back down here. And Dave Delory, who has a lot of fire experience, they're gonna go through the thing from front to back, write up a new thing. Frontier says just get it fixed, our insurance company says just get it fixed, and they'll take on the other people. So we'll just get it fixed and let them, like I said, earn their money for what they do.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's about it. There's not much going on with the roads. They are trying to fill as many potholes within reason with the amount of stone that pops out when you put it in holes at this time of year. A lot of cold patch has been put down on East Road because that had really started to break up completely. So they've been out trying to just keep the roads as much as they can, given the fact that the frost isn't out of the ground and we don't know where mud season is going yet. Hopefully we'll know in the next few days where it's going.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Where you're gonna have a problem now is in the shaded areas,
Yeah.
because that's, your open areas is pretty well probably gone now. But you get into shaded areas and that's gonna depend when you get rain.
Yeah. Yeah. And from what I understand, we're supposed to get a good amount of rain tomorrow and the next day. So by Thursday, when I'll be in Montpelier, I'll hear what's going on here. Yeah, by the end of this week, we'll know where we're going, I think. It can't be postponed much longer. We're mid-April. We did luck out by how slowly everything melted and thawed out. It was really kind of lucky.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, we'll back up now and talk to our new treasurer, Melanie Dexter. Welcome.
You can sit in a good chair. This rickety thing here. We're not insured for that.
Do you know everybody here?
I think I have met, we've met before.
No, I don't think so.
Melanie Dexter, nice to meet you.
Art Whitman? Yes.
I've met,
Yes.
we met.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Well, how we doing?
It's a lot to learn.
Sure.
I'm managing the day-to-day stuff pretty well at this point, I would say.
Good.
Getting the money put in the bank and getting the checks out, that's the main thing, and that's happening pretty well.
Dave was going over our budget a little bit just with the highway stuff, but as far as the budget overall, are you ready to tell us where we stand
Not
relative to
really.
spending money?
No, I mean, it just getting up to speed on day-to-day mechanics is pretty much where I am. I think if there were anything weird going on, I would know about it, or, I mean, other than that one
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that we talked about.
we're still bouncing one account around for the, we
Yeah.
haven't finished White Creek yet.
Yeah,
The ugly thing won't go away. It just keeps, we're searching for a balance.
so
but-
nothing new weird.
No, nothing new weird. And just
Since I've taken
to
over.
answer Tim's question, we're at, for the overall expenditures, we're at 76%, including this warrant. So everything's relatively flat. The end of third quarter, if you just do by the straight line, 75%. And you have to be aware, in that 76%, a lot of accounts are paid 100% already. You know, different bonds and things are all paid 100%. So there's a little bit more wiggle room there than you think. Revenues, if you don't mind, a few things. The revenue is also in at about 95% when you discount the $86,000 grant that was put in anticipation of the sidewalk, which I have no anticipation that that's going to be done in this fiscal year. It will be done this year, but not in this fiscal year.
Be done in late summer.
Late summer, yeah. Everyone's convinced it'll be late summer.
It'll be before school starts, right?
Yeah, yeah, that would be my
Is there
hope and
any,
prayer.
to just sidetrack a little bit there, is there any new information since Alice and Dick got that moving at the state permit
They have every
agency?
signed thing. In fact, KAS, after I had a phone conversation, conference call with the state, KAS forwarded this missing document to me. I signed it and sent it back as an attachment. The state rejected the attachment because it has to the original has to be signed, so that was mailed to me, and I mailed that back to the state. So now it's finally in right-of-way review, and they assure me that should be relatively quick because it's such a small job. So, and as soon as that pops out, which is this one little yellow piece of paper, as soon as that pops out, it's already designed, so it's really right up the bidding documents, which KAS will do. And we'll put it out to bid, and, you know, the quicker we get it out to bid, it's the better chance we have of getting it scheduled where we want. The question of it getting done this year is really a given, because even everyone who knows anything about it is like, this is like a 2-week job. It's, you know, it's really nothing. But the speed is to get it out so we can get it scheduled at the best time for us, which would be dead August would be the best time for us before school starts. Because then we have to have walking, you know, we have to have more guards to walk the kids around and everything.
How much time has transpired since all the ducks have been in a row?
Probably only like 4 days.
Okay.
Because it has to be a signed original, which was news to KS, I guess. They mailed it down to me, I mailed it directly back to Tina at the state, and it's only been like 4 days. I have a contact to get back to her on Friday to make sure that it's in the proper hands. Like I said, they assuring me that it's so minor that it should go through. And I had a call into Trevor also to, on the state's advice, just sign the easement, nothing's gonna change, you know, it's, and then everything will be done with it.
All right.
But I'll keep you posted. If it doesn't come out of ROL right of way quickly, then we're gonna have to get on them again, because there's no reason for any delay. After all this time that's gone by, this should go right to the top.
Yeah.
It'll take 5 minutes to go over this thing, seriously.
Where is the duration of that thing, Dave, from where to where? I don't know as I ever heard.
Look at the gas station, it's from this end of their parking lot, around the corner to this end of the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's literally the corner.
So the old part that goes down Cleveland Avenue is not changing?
No, we're
Goes
just
down-
joining up with it.
Cleveland Avenue.
No, he's joining up with that.
Yeah, it's joining up with that. That's halfway down, I think, Church Street now.
Yeah, it starts down, well, it goes from Church Street down to where they ended the other one.
Yes, yeah, it should cover the whole distance. It's the last segment of this, well, I think it's
And then
about,
up Church Street to the gas station.
this part is not going down Cleveland.
It's not going down Cleveland at all?
No, this
Yeah,
part is going
It's on
around.
Church Street toward Cleveland is what I
Yeah.
say, yeah, but just right there around the corner.
Yeah, it's not going further,
Oh,
it's not going
Okay,
down.
I thought it was going down all the way down Cleveland Avenue.
No, that's not in any of the diagrams or anything.
No.
Huh?
This is just to do the corner.
Yeah.
I know, that's the shocking part, it's just to do the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, for the rest of it, I don't know if we need any permits or anything. We could probably pour a sidewalk. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, next time I say we don't ask for
Yeah.
permits, we just hire a concrete
Well, the one down
contractor.
Cleveland Avenue was paved.
Apologize afterward.
It's a paved sidewalk.
Oh, Cleveland's paved?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not the new section, but the,
Yeah, the old section.
yeah.
Well, it's not part of this one.
Oh, okay.
So I
I'd never heard
distracted
that.
you there
That's
too
me.
much on the sidewalk. You were going through the budget.
Yeah, where was I? I was just looking for anything that was, most of the categories honestly come in very full, right about where they should be. They're all around 75%. Some are much, much lower. A few are 100%. Like the health plan administration is 100% for the year, which is normal. Dues and subscriptions, 100%. And that's why, you know, being at 76% here in total expenditures, we really have a little bit more wiggle room than it looks like, because some are paid out for the year. In every category, except for emergency management, which is skewed by the generator and transferring funds there, everything comes in right where it should be or below. And like I said, some significantly below. The big ones over, of course, again, like I was talking about under the highway, was the overtime and the materials that we had to use this winter. But the rest of it comes in solely where it needs to be. Some, like equipment for landfill, is 100% because I bought a scale, because I bought a methane monitor. So they're all totally expended. But just to recap, the budget is $2,001,367, and at the close of period 9, we have spent $1,522,157 for 76% of what was budgeted. So we have a solid, actually like 25% left.
For 25% of the time, for
25% of the time, we have 25% of the money left, so, and the big expenses are definitely decreasing. I mean, there'll be, other than running the equipment and, you know, whatever amount of snow it takes to get through mud season, the highway expenses have come to an end for the year. And everything else, I can't anticipate any real increase in anything for the rest of the year. It should go relatively smooth. But the $120,000 that was supposed to come out of the general fund to cover this budget year, I mean, that's definitely going to be used. And possibly,
No, that was included in the.
yeah, that was included in the whole budget, so that's, budget is still going to come out hopefully even. There's some revenue items that still haven't come in. We don't have the full state land use or Vermont Forest and Parks. We don't have the full federal land pilot program, the railroad tax. So there's still a little bit of revenue coming in. 5% of the revenue is still due. So I think at this stage, we're in pretty good shape
Okay.
for the end.
At what time does the treasurer set the tax rate, because we know what the expenses are because of what the people voted on, and we know the grand list, so sometime that has to be done, is that right?
Yes, that's correct, and Tim and I spoke briefly on this. We can have that for the next meeting.
Okay.
I did not get a chance to talk to Jim, just want to confirm the grand list, and that's just a it's a division.
Yeah, typically that's done in April.
Okay.
We could have done it tonight. We'll try to plan on doing it next time. I did have a note I wanted to bring up about that. Recall we had the issues about the double voting at the, that we talked about in terms of what we voted on at town meeting versus what was voted on at the ballot. According to the state, legally we're obliged to set the tax rate according to the budget that was approved at town meeting, which was the $1.9 million figure. That did include the $10,000 for the Cold Spring Historic Site project. I believe we should follow the law and set the tax rate according to that full amount. I clearly don't think we should spend $10,000 on the Cold Spring Historic Site project, as much as I love that project. The voters voted against that. But as we told the voters at town meeting, that what I said at town meeting was that what didn't get approved the next day would go into the fund balance, and this is following that procedure. I may have, well, I spoke correctly at that time, because that's what needs to happen. I think in the past, we have done things a little differently and adjusted the tax rate according to the things that were voted down. But the legal answer is the budget was approved at town meeting. That's the number that you should set the tax rate for, and that we should, in respect for the voters, choose not to spend the money on the Cold Spring Historic Site project and return it to the fund balance.
Makes it all more important that we do it right next year.
Correct.
Okay.
And again, the answer there is just a simple matter of not including in that total budget number that we present at town meeting those things that will be voted the next day, and that we add those things
Yep.
rather than try and subtract them.
Okay.
Okay, Melanie, you have anything else for us?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, and
Okay.
welcome aboard.
Welcome
Pleasure.
aboard.
All right, the next item up is the financing on the North Road property that was approved by the voters for purchase. As we expected, we were able to get a loan at 2% for that. That just came in today, according to Dave. It came in as a capital bond, which has a lot of,
Yeah, it's a capital improvement note.
Capital improvement note.
In lieu of a traditional mortgage. It's from People's United Bank. The total interest we're talking about here is like $1,200 over the 3 years. So I went to 3 of the banks. One wasn't in this line of business, and another one offered about 3%. With fees, this has no fees. It's from People's Bank, who we do most of our banking with, from their government office, and there's no fees. It's 3 payments. The first one is next April 10th, and the last one would be April 10th, 2018. It's a 2% annual rate, which comes out to a little over $1,200 over the 3 years of the loan. And the numbers fall well within what we have in this year's budget, or in fiscal 16's budget to pay for it, and it's what we projected. This is a little bit different than a traditional mortgage statement, so we made the thing, if we could approve what the voters wanted, the $40,000 loan, $1,200 in total interest, and then have this, excuse me, send this for a review to Wilmington's office just to read all the language. I read it quickly this afternoon. I'm not familiar with some of the things they're talking about in this kind of notes, so just to make, prudence is always good.
What you're saying is this is not a typical mortgage where the bank is holding the mortgage or the title to the property, right?
Well, that's the other part of this that I need to see. This seems to me like they're saying, here's $40,000 in a capital improvement note, go buy the property. If you default through language in there, they can come after the town. I don't see it as the bank's holding the title to the property.
Property.
It's basically a
It's a loan.
line of credit.
Line of credit, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty straightforward, but I'm always thinking you should have these reviewed by someone who's read them before, just out of caution. There's nothing, if we default, they'll want their money back, that's,
Funny how that is.
yeah, well, yeah, that is.
Add just a little bit of urgency to getting this done. We did miss our deadline on the finance contingency on this property. There was a finance contingency of 45 days. I'd forgotten, signed that contract in mid-February, and I was thinking the 45 days was when the voters approved the sale. And so come the 1st of April, we missed that financing deadline. I spoke with the sellers through the real estate agent, and we all agreed to a 30-day extension on that. But they would like to see, and I would like to see us get moving on this.
Absolutely.
So I would ask that the board approve financing the North Road property through People's United Bank with the capital improvement note that they've presented, contingent upon legal review.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion is approved 4-0-0. So I will read this through. We'll send it to the town attorney to make sure that it's what we're agreeable to, but I think we all believe that when the bank sends you a stack of paperwork, you sign it and
Yeah.
move on, so.
Yeah.
But we
Do you
will
want
do our,
signatures before or after?
Or should we sign it now and get it would just sit, we don't want it sitting in the law firm too long.
oh, we do.
I can stop down and sign it later if you want to wait.
Yeah, or if you approve, you can sign it, you can come in and sign it after it's been reviewed.
Yeah, we've all approved it. We all need to sign it. I don't want us to sign it now until we have
Okay.
legal review, so let's get legal review, and then we can stop by
Yeah.
at convenience
Make
and
sure
sign
you
it.
call us. Make sure you call us or let us know.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I'll get that to Wilmington. Or did you want to read this? Is that what you said?
Yeah, keep it. I'll come by and read
Okay.
it at Cole Hall.
Okay.
Okay, the next is the awarding of bids for the repairs and maintenance to the bathroom. There were 2 bids that were sent out. One was quite detailed, and the other one less so. Did everybody have a chance to look at those? My recommendation is that we go with the more detailed bid, even though it's more expensive. Clearly, I think that that contractor gave a lot more thought to what's involved there, especially seemed to be paying careful attention to where the leaks were coming from and what might be involved in fixing those leaks.
I mean, it made a lot of sense that it's running right off this, it's piling right up in the water in that corner. That's where it's probably leaking from, coming off the roof, coming
Yeah,
off the
but
rundown.
it slopes in a little bit there.
And
This apparently has come up periodically over the years, so there's also simply the question of what do we find when we take the wall down? I mean,
Yeah, he did say he was only going to go up 5 inches or something on the wall.
5 feet, I think.
Oh, 5 feet? Okay.
Yeah, it's up to, there's where the ledge, with the windows ledges.
Dave, do you feel comfortable working with
Oh, he'll install the,
With the gentleman, Mr., I'm sorry.
Murray?
Yeah, Mr. Murray. Yeah, he was very, very detailed and,
I mean, both of them,
Both.
both of them are very competent, well experienced and that sort of stuff. I just think we got to go with the one you feel the most confident with.
yeah.
Because it really there wasn't a lot, because we don't know what we're getting into until you get into it. There wasn't a lot of detail that everybody could bid on, so I think it's up to you.
There's a few things here, and to be honest with you, Judy Stratton had a lot to do with this and was with each meeting and went through with each contractor, and she is comfortable and happy to have seen the things in the Murray bid.
Okay.
She is going to be a big part of getting this done.
Yep.
Because she's been in the building so long, and she liked a lot of what she read, and is, in her way of putting it, she can follow, and she wants to be in there daily going, this is, it says this, and I want the shelves here, and
Okay.
so.
All right.
It's actually turned into a big deal of her project than my project.
Yeah, don't argue with her then. Okay, so, you want that in the form of a motion?
Yes. I move that we accept the bid from Murray Brothers for repairs of the bathroom in the amount of,
Is that an exact contract, or is that just an estimate?
This is.
bid for project.
it's a bid.
Bid for
With
the
a time and
project.
material, if anything else is added above and beyond what's
So
in this.
it does say that?
Yes.
Okay.
The total bid for the project, yeah.
And that's another thing, I mean, they listed everything else, but if he starts getting real picky and he finds other things, it's time and material going forward. I mean,
Yeah,
if
well-
it's not listed here, it could add on to the cost.
Oh, we realize that.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's-
both of them say that. I mean,
And we had to be upfront with everybody that none of us really knows what's behind the wall, so,
That's my
I mean,
point.
it's
I
pretty
think it's just got
detailed.
to go to the guy you feel most comfortable
Yeah.
working with.
yeah.
I like the fact that he was using, cement sealing or cement expanding, what's it called, whatever. That's good, expands within the cracks to stop, but I think I don't care how much stuff you put in the cracks in the floor and the wall down there, what you're gonna have to stop is the water off the roof piling up there, you're gonna have to angle the,
Yeah,
slope the grade.
yeah, out here isn't a big deal, but there was some digging out here. They replaced the oil tank or
That's
something
right.
out here, so they disrupted the ground. That might have been the first cause of it. You know, I don't know. You know, there's several potential issues in that corner, so we really have to just rip it down and see what it is. And we've had the asbestos inspection, which is gonna be another bill on this, because, to meet state law, I had to hire an asbestos inspector.
Was there any-
Well, I thought all contractors these days had to have a license if they did carpentry work to do asbestos work.
This is a special contractor, you have to get him off the state list. He's a gentleman from over in Wilmington.
Just has to check it.
Yeah, but I thought all carpenters now,
Yeah, if you have to be, you have.
has to
lead
have a license
remediation
from the
and-
EPA.
I don't know if carpenters have to, asbestos inspectors have to.
Is this because this is a public building? You had
This
to
is a
get-
public building, that's
That's why
why.
you had to-
The state, and I don't even know how, they must read the bid websites, they sent me a card. They're notifying me about how bad I was for not having this done already, so I got it done. Actually, I think Mr. Hardy recommended this gentleman to me, so.
All right, I almost got through my motion. I move that we accept the bid from Murray Brothers for repairs to the bathroom at Cole Hall in the amount of $10,441.
Second.
Seconded by Art Whitman. Any more discussion?
Is there a contingency in there for unknown stuff?
Yes. That's
Time and
what we
material.
talked
Yeah,
about. Yes,
okay.
there is.
Yeah.
Time and materials.
Yep. All right.
You got it. It's got
Anything
to
that's not listed is considered
Yeah.
time and material.
And like I said, Judy likes, she could follow that along. She wants to make sure this is, you know, it's kind of like her building at this point.
Yep. And there's a lot listed here,
There's a
so
lot listed there.
he's covered a lot of bases, so I feel more comfortable that the over-budget stuff is going to be
minimal.
legitimate surprises and not oversight.
Okay, so, and just to give it, oh, sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion to accept the Murray Brothers bids is approved 400. You're going to say something?
Oh, yeah, there'll be a few add-ons to this just to get the place ready, everything from a handicap equipped porta potty, and we wouldn't expect to start this till late May, because the weather has to be right, because our one facility building will be out of a facility for a few days.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cold Spring, Vermont Art Council contract. I need permission from the Select Board to sign the contract with the Vermont Art Council for the $15,000 grant that they gave us. That was circulated to you. It says the usual things that a grant would say, that we will spend it on what we said we would spend it on, and that we will keep them updated on progress of the project, and that the project will be completed in something about around 2 years, unless we ask for an extension. So I move that we accept that I be allowed to sign the Vermont Art Council contract for the $15,000 grant for the Cold Spring Historic Project.
And that's just for the artist rendition, the
Right. The Vermont Art Council grant is for artistic design and fabrication. What that will allow me to do, allow us to do, is allow Angus McCullough, the artist on the project, to start coming up with ideas and designs for what we might be putting there.
If we don't do anything, what happens? Do we end up paying the money back?
If we don't complete the project,
Yeah, what is the completion of the project? Because
Mine,
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was the drawing, I thought it was the artist's rendition of, that would be the finished of that, for that grant. What did they project the project to look like when it's done? Fabrication, you're saying, is that like toward the finishing it of it, or?
art fabrication, if, for example, Angus came up with a sculpture he wanted to place there, it would include the fabrication of that sculpture. But the project, the entire project should be completed in 2 years. And if we, take the money and spend a lot of money on art and then don't build anything there, don't put anything there, yeah, I think the Vermont Art Council would come back to us and want their money back.
And I'm concerned about how much we can do there because of all the legal rights of the water rights of the people. So I don't know just how much we are. I'm concerned about whether we can complete something that would be in the eyes of
The grant.
VAC as a completed project.
I think-
Angus was up there the other day, and I was talking to him, and he said, yeah, and I kind of explained to him, I said, we really don't know what the legal ramifications are of really doing something right here. And he says, well, that's all right, I can put a picnic table and a bench a little bit down there and that sort of stuff. Now, I don't know if that would satisfy VAC as an art project or not.
I don't think a picnic table would be considered an art project
No,
by
I
VAC.
agree, and so.
And I agree, we should not spend $15,000 before we have any legal work done. The arrangement that Angus and I talked about is a couple of $1,000s to give him some time over a period of weeks and months to come up with art designs. I believe that having a design for what we want the project to look like in the end will help us with the voters should we come back to them, say, next year and say, now are you ready to contribute to this project, and this is what it's going to look like.
Okay.
One of the things that we didn't have this time, because we didn't have any money, was just my description that we're going to put something nice there. But I agree, we should not spend $15,000, we should not
Okay.
spend that money until we've got the legal work done up front.
That's my point. I didn't want to go spending $15,000. Or
Can you use,
can we use just part of that?
yeah, can you use part of that grant as part of the legal?
No,
No.
no, we can't. And I've been working on applying for other grants, and I'm hoping that some of those will allow us to start some of that legal work. And if they don't, then I intend to start fundraising to do that.
But by approving the $15,000, does that mean that it all has to be spent, or can we just give Mr. McCullough only $2,000 or $3,000 of that 15?
We can just give Mr. McCullough $2,000 or $3,000 to
Okay.
do art design.
Yeah, because
And then work on doing, as you said, putting the horse before the cart.
Yes.
And getting that legal framework done.
okay, that's,
Yeah, no, we would not spend all that money on say, a piece of sculpture and have no place to put it, yeah.
all right.
If we do, we'll be on the hook for it in 2 years.
Right,
That's what I'm concerned about,
yeah.
okay?
Does anybody remember if I made a motion or not? I move that we accept the contract from Vermont Art Council and receive the $15,000 grant for the Cold Spring project.
With the stipulations for amended to say that.
With the
until-
understanding that we will not spend all that money until proper legal and permitting have been done.
I'll second that, the way it's stated.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion is approved, 400. Thank you. All right, we did adopt our annual meeting schedule earlier in the meeting. And we're back to garbage. Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch has been our lead on the Solid Waste Alliance agreement and the ordinance that we as a town have to enact in order to be in compliance with the solid waste agreement and the Act 148 Universal Recycling Law. Mitch?
Well, there's a lot of information, but basically, the 13 towns represented in Bennington County for this alliance are put together so that we can reduce costs for everybody concerned. It's all set up to, I don't know, you folks you've read the agreements and the ordinance.
Yes.
We're fortunate because Shaftsbury pretty much has a pay-as-you-throw ordinance now. This is just an updated version of it, and it's for us and everyone else. We have to get this signed and get it into the works for a 60-day waiting period to make sure we don't have any people coming in and complaining about it. But we should get that signed as soon as possible, today or the 20th at the latest. The interlocal contract, this is not the latest. I got a note today from Mike Batcher that there was a couple little minor substantive changes to a comma, so-and-so. So I think we've got to talk about this tonight, the contract, and make sure everyone understands it, and then we'll sign it. We'll circulate the latest and greatest. It just came, I talked to him
Yeah,
about
just-
5 o'clock, and I didn't print it off. I didn't bother sending it out because I figured but this is basically, they want us to form an alliance that has a budget that does all the administration of the Act 148 for all the towns involved. And what really comes down to is the hazardous waste days. If we were to do this on our own, we'd have to have like 2 this year and then 4 the next year. And each one of those costs a lot of money. But with an alliance, we can have 2 this year, 1 in South Shire, 1 in North Shire. And then the 4 we can do it. There's even talk of a permanent household hazardous waste site at Bennington landfill. I'm not sure where that's going. I'm not sure that's something that's going to fly or not yet. And as a matter of fact, I think the last meeting we had last week, it might have been very cost prohibitive, is what, if I remember the conversation correctly. But still, the costs of those hazardous collection days are spread out based on the populations of the towns involved, and they came up with a number of votes. I mean, if you have any questions, and this is documents on the website. The contract is what every town is signing, and basically that's why I said if we sign it, we'd have to sign another one again because there was a couple minor changes to it. So everyone's signing that. There's a couple things on the ordinance I've changed, which is the enforcement. I said the sheriff will be our enforcer. The select board hereby designates the sheriff department with law enforcement authority for this ordinance under Vermont law, instead of having anything else. So that was the only change I made to that. There was someone else was going to do it. You know, we cannot, limited, this new alliance that we're making up is going to be made up of 1 member of each select board of the 13 towns. So you have 13 people on this board. And there will be a president, or your chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer. We will not have the authority to tax, or I'm saying we, I'm not even sure I'm going to be on it yet. I guess I am kind of by default. We will, they don't have, we can't adopt an ordinance. If the town adopts an ordinance, we can enforce it or we can apply it. The authority to borrow money, we cannot do that. The power of eminent domain, we don't have that. That's just an alliance for the sake of pooling money to take care of solid waste for educational purposes, to get them to separate their solids. And actually, I have these things that need to be posted in downstairs. BCRC is selling compost bins for anybody that
I
wants them.
have these posted downstairs. Yeah.
Okay, you do?
Yep.
I've been going to these meetings, there's nothing in here that should be scary or frightening. I mean, went over the vote based on population numerous times, and this seemed to be the best fit for everybody for the 2/3 votes and so forth they really want us to hire full-time employees. It's like, manage the business affairs of incidents to carry out the purpose of this contract, implement the actions listed in the SWIP, enter into contract, implement the SWIP, provide solid waste management information to member municipalities. So we're going to have the town have these, fill out these, haul our information, and we're going to have to get these quarterly. give us the information, the number of tons. This is where we're gonna have, where the rubber meets the road. If, they're telling us what they're doing for, we should actually see a reduction in landfill, garbage going in landfill by this law. And by taking these metrics, we should be able to. These are sample forms. I thought they were pretty good. I don't think there's anything special that we need to do with them. I don't know, do you have any questions that I might be able to answer? I could ask,
Do you want to approve the ordinance and the agreement and then approve an amendment later? Or do you just want to wait on everything?
well, I would sign the ordinance tonight, and if you guys want to sign the contract with the understanding that there's an updated version coming, that would be great. I don't think there's a big rush, and 420 will be here soon enough for that. The ordinance today would be great if we got the 60-day period going today, for sure.
Yeah,
And
because we have to do all of the warnings and everything you
Warnings
do
and so
for
forth.
any town ordinance on that.
Yeah.
Yep, so if we get this ordinance going in the process on 6/6, it's effective, basically.
Yeah, we can
And
get
that's
it out.
before the
and
6/18
published.
deadline.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to sign the ordinance. So ordinance for the I'll make a motion to sign the ordinance for the municipal solid waste variable rate pricing and hauler registration and reporting ordinance.
Second. Any discussion?
What was the story on there was a big question on the hauler.
Yes, that is by town. That is by
So
town.
So he's
So
got to pay.
$50 a town, so it'll be like $6.50 for if he does business in all 13 towns.
But it's not per truck, it's per
Fleet,
company, right?
per fleet. It's a fleet fee, $50 fee, so.
And that's annual.
I mean, Trevor was there at these meetings, a couple of them I was at, and didn't seem to bother him. No, everyone else was invited, all the other haulers were invited, but I have not seen anyone
No,
attend these
nor have
meetings.
I. Only Trevor comes.
Only Trevor, so. And like I said, this isn't finalized yet either.
Yeah.
Actually, this one doesn't even have a fee on it. I think it's in the contract. But that's in the ordinance, I guess, right here. No,
Is that rate per town for the trucks, there's no negotiation on that?
well, at the time, we signed the, actually, I thought it was on the draft hauler form. But I don't see it. I must not have the most recent one. Or is it in the contract? I think that's on the form, and that's up to us to, that's up to the town to do. There's nothing in these contracts for a rate, except for the fines on the ordinance.
Well, all I'm getting at, Mitch, is just everywhere you look, I've had a permit for DOT number for my dump truck since 1986. Paid for it once, till this year. Get a thing from the DOT, didn't get a paper, I got a phone call, left on my answering machine, that you must renew or re-verify every other year your DOT number.
And this is
And
a,
if you don't do it, they could fine you up to $10,000.
I
Then they
don't think
turn
we're-
around and
I
say,
don't
now
think
you
we're
got
gonna get
another
that narrow.
$200 bill that
We're
you
not-
had to pay.
Make sure that's not a scam. I don't think they're allowed to call you.
yeah, it might be a scam.
Well, no, I got a paper, I called the number, and I went right to DOT, and I got the paper back. They faxed it to me.
Okay.
But there is a scam going around on that.
Yeah.
All of the towns in the alliance are
On
seeking
board.
to pass the same ordinance?
Same ordinance, except for the enforcement, a couple minor things on the ordinance. The contract is exactly the same, otherwise it would not be a contract. That's why we have to wait to sign the next time. I didn't bring the new one with me. The ordinance, it's standard, they prettied it up, it says the authority of this ordinance is granted VSA 1971, Title 24, Chapter 59. It's, you know, it's standard, they prettied it up, but, it says the authority of this ordinance is granted VSA 1971, Title 24, Chapter 59. It's, 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 it's standard, they prettied it up, it's, you know, it says the authority of this ordinance is granted VSA 1971, Title 24, Chapter 59. It's
Okay,
It's something we have to do, so.
okay, I just,
Yeah.
Motion and a seconded.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
All in favor, say aye.
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 That's 400. Adopted on this sixth day of
Sixth.
April 2015.
I know.
I know, we gotta get this attested by the town clerk, too.
Yeah, I think she will believe our signatures. It doesn't say notarized, so I assume. But she can just sign it too.
Got a different one than these. Yeah, everyone agreed the fee was not that prohibitive. And you've got this posted somewhere, right?
just gonna cost us.
The lifeline of
Trevor
the,
can't just give
I know.
us some kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had it somewhere. Is that extra?
no, I don't think it's
I'll print
somewhere.
one off. I had one somewhere.
See, and this has to be done, the other stakeholders-
The big one. Yeah, you know.
So on July 1st, 2015, statewide unit-based pricing takes effect, requiring residential trash charges be based on volume or weight, which is the ordinance we just signed, and Shaftsbury's been doing it for few years now.
Okay.
Recyclables are banned from the landfill. Transfer station drop-off facilities must accept leaf and yard debris. Haulers must offer residential recycling collection at no extra charge. Public buildings must provide recycling containers alongside all trash containers in public spaces. So this is something we have to think about for the park.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No,
Food scrap generators of 52 tons a year must divert materials to any certified facility within 20 miles. So that takes effect in July of this year. I have other information if people would like to copy it, the background on why we're doing it and all that stuff, if anybody's interested. And BCRC does have compost bins for sale, and they're about 50% of, 50 cents on a dollar what you pay retail. They got together with a bunch of towns and bought in bulk. So, I mean, they're not, they're just standard compost bins. But,
I never get my compost cooked before winter. It always freezes and then,
there you go. Block. So that's, so we signed the ordinance. Okay, I will pass the next, the version I got, I'll send it around. I'll update it to Shaftsbury. That's the only thing that changes on that document. And we'll sign it next week.
are you plugged into what the steps are in the 60-day approval process?
This was a warned meeting to discuss the ordinance, and it starts, we will warn it again next meeting, and then, but it's, once we sign it, that starts the 60-day public period.
So we need 2 warned meetings where it's brought up, and then it can become an ordinance.
and I'll have this put on the website tomorrow, so everybody can see it and sign, and,
Perfect.
yeah, we'll just, there's a notice that has to go in the banner too, I believe, so we'll just work out all the little details and get it up.
Basically, at the long and short of it, this alliance is gonna take over what the BCRC has been doing for the SWIP. Bennington County Regional Commission does not want to be in the, or basically, it can't be in the garbage business the way it's set up. And that's it. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Mitch. The document, the Solid Waste Alliance documents had a statement that we need to appoint a rep, and I believe it said we need to appoint a rep by 4/15.
Yes,
Which
it did
is,
say something like that.
If we haven't approved the alliance agreement, then I'm wondering if we should go ahead and approve the agreement and then appoint a rep, and then amend the agreement in our next meeting.
That's fine with me. That works for me.
All right. You want to move that?
I'll move that we accept the Bennington County Solid Waste Alliance interlocal contract. This is for the town of Shaftsbury, and is the same contract as signed by the 13 other towns, which are Arlington, Bennington, Dorset, Glastonbury, Manchester, Pownell, Rupert, Sandgate, Searsburg, Shaftsbury, Stamford, Sunderland, and Woodford.
Okay, how about we say that the motion is that we approve the Bennington County Solid Waste Alliance interlocal contract?
There you go.
I will second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's approved, 400. All right, and this contract says that we need to appoint a representative to this alliance by April 15. I nominate Mitch Race. I move that we appoint Mitch Race to that position.
A second.
Seconded by Art Whitman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That approves 400.
Go ahead, Mitch, vote.
Okay, great, so that's done, and then we have a new copy of that, which we will read and then amend the next time, but we've got, basically, we've got all that.
I mean, I just scribbled, I
that
didn't even, didn't I send it? Is the one,
I have a copy, so I'll just put a copy on the website so
Okay.
that people can just read it.
and I'll forward what I got tonight, or if you didn't get it.
I got it too, but it came so late,
I didn't even look at it either.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we'll just
sign
drag our feet on those signatures until we
Yeah.
get the amendment and then sign it next time.
sounds good.
All right.
Thank you,
I-
gentlemen.
Item 17, legal trail certification with the state. Somewhere there was a little bit of a mix-up, and the Select Board and the Ancient Roads Committee came up with a list of legal trails in Shaftsbury, and somehow those legal trails never made it into our annual highway certification. And we've got noticed, we received notice from the state that we need to verify that those trails are there, and they want them on our list of highway miles. We've verified with the road crew that those trails do exist. They are designated as they are in this map. David, you made one change
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah. That's LT10, originally it was LT1, but the first legal trail was the extension of Shaftsbury Hollow Road to the Arlington border. It's a .8 legal trail,
Which is this up here.
which is, yes, that one there.
So we're just redesignating this one over here as LT10.
I guess I have a question. When did this, I mean, this is all part of the ancient roads things that was never documented?
Well,
It was documented, and it looks like the town came very close to putting it on our list of highways, and then there
Yeah.
was just like a clerical
Yeah,
error that it
because-
didn't get included.
yeah, when you submit this, they reclassified these, and they listed them all in the proper order back in February of 2012. However, you're supposed to also send a copy of the proceedings, minutes of the meetings affirming this. In the minutes that were recorded at that meeting, it doesn't specify this action. However, there's lots of documents that mention these. So what's happened now is they've appeared, as they do on the maps every year, as just LTs, not numbered. If we don't affirm the numbers by April 15th, the state is going to remove the trails from the map completely. So it's just something that got overlooked a few years back. The minutes didn't go for whatever reason, and the state has basically asked if we can reaffirm these. I drew up a brief document that I think went in the Dropbox also, just listing the roads in the order we have them, and that tonight we're affirming the decision made in 2012, because actually the guy up in Montpelier would like it tomorrow, so we can get on the mapping system.
So these were ancient roads that became trails?
These were always legal trails
They were reviewed by the Ancient Roads Committee, and that's one of the sources that we referred to try to track down how this came to be not on our list of highway maps,
Yeah, it's,
highway roads.
Does it get us any state money for them, or no, or just?
no,
they just
legal
wanna
trails
know they're
really
there?
don't count. It's just a question of, these have appeared on all our highway maps, and they just want them numbered. If we don't number them, they're just gonna take them off the maps, which is kind of odd, but, you know, they want them numbered, so they were numbered. The board meant to number them. They did in fact number them back in 2012, but the document never went through correctly, so we're not really changing anything. We're just clarifying it to the state so they don't take an eraser to our map. And it's never a good idea, I think, to give up any
No,
stretch of
never.
anything. And when the antique roads, when the ancient roads committees went through, they did make 3 changes that are all documented. I forget what they all were now, but these were untouched, and they were just to remain legal trails.
I make the motion that we approve the legal trails as shown on our map and let the state know.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved, 400.
Yeah, if we just sign that, then I'll get it to the guy in the morning, and they'll stay on our maps. One of them actually appears to be in New York State, but I don't know how that works. Apparently, we have a trail in New York State.
Good for us.
Yeah. Apparently annexed a small corner of New York. But yeah, well, there was some real changes, but this was not one of them. Yeah, you can keep that if you want, yeah.
Town Administrator's Report.
Okay, we're going to, tonight, we just really have the grants for state highway funding that we hope to get for this summer's projects. We need a couple of documents signed. One is the annual financial plan of the town. Basically, it just simply says, we, the legislative body of the municipality of Shaftsbury, certify that funds raised by municipal taxes are equivalent to or greater than a sum of at least $300 per mile for each mile of Class 1, 2, and 3 town highways, and that's 700,000 plus, where we well exceed that. So I need that signed by the board that we actually do that. There's a second one, a certification of compliance for town road and bridge standards and network inventory. And this one says that we certify that our adopted standards do meet or exceed the minimum requirements included in the January 23rd V-Trans template. That was approved last year. I think we just discussed that a few months ago. And that we further certify that we have an up-to-date highway network inventory, which includes location, size, efficiencies, condition of roads, bridges, causeways, on and on, Class 1, 2, and 3 town roads, and estimated cost of repair. We do have a survey that was done 3 years ago, and that is still valid for this. And with the new computer system, we'll be making a much more detailed one for any future compliance.
Let me suggest that we do make a motion to approve the annual financial plan for highways
This actually goes
for the
through.
purpose of obtaining state grants for highways. Second.
Second. I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I just think that we should have something in the minutes that says we signed something.
Yeah.
And I'll make a motion for the certification of compliance for the town road and bridge standards and network inventory.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved, 400.
And that's just the overall numbers on it, so,
Yeah, we got the $3 down there.
yeah, we made that, yeah.
That's just some numbers to go with it.
Yes, we have one typewriter in the building, and I couldn't get to it tonight, so excuse my penmanship.
What's this?
Well, that's just the numbers that go along
That
with
goes with
that.
Numbers that goes
Yeah.
along with that thing we're signing
Okay.
there.
We'll see. Now, we also have 3 grant applications for this year that we're going to put in. The first one would be East Road. We have a project that will reclaim and repave approximately 2,310 feet of East Road to a width of 22 feet. And it's a section of road that starts from just a bit south of Reservoir Road and runs to 2,300 feet. It's the part that we just really put most of the cold patch down on. The road is in desperate need of reclaiming. This is the second year at minimum that we've asked for a grant to repave that section.
That's about 4 miles, right?
Well, we're not doing 4 miles here because we can't afford. The original 4-mile one that Margie had put in was coming up to close to,
No, but isn't 2,300 feet, 4 miles, it's 5,280 feet in a mile, so that's
Yeah,
about.
so-
yeah, no,
So
20,
it's a half mile.
yeah, half mile, 2,300 feet, not,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
23,000 feet.
Oh, no, that would be quite the project.
Yes. Okay, good.
I didn't know there was that much road over there.
Yeah, so this one will total,
2,300 feet, okay.
yeah, 2,300 feet,
Yeah.
and that will come in at about $104,000. We have estimates from Peckham that we'll send along with this grant application. I'm going to finish typing these out tomorrow morning because there'll be nobody up here and I can get on the
That
typewriter.
goes, what'd you say, from Reservoir Road?
South of Reservoir Road, it'll start continuing south.
South?
Yeah, for 2,300 feet. Because that's where, along the Beagle Club and that area there, that's where it's all disintegrated.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have it reclaimed and put basically a whole new roadway in.
Okay.
So that'll be the first one. The second one is Airport Road, which is also a Class 2 roadway project. Numbers we worked up with the road crew to do a 2,100-foot section of that roadway, which would be from just past the railroad crossing to about the beginning of Cider Mill. We estimate that with a little add-on, it'd be around $63,470, and that is to basically strip the road down and rebuild it up and do ditching on the sides, and have a little engineering to address the water seepage problem there. It will be a major reconstruction of that road with a new 18-inch base, fabric, and a top coat of 3 to 4 inches, depending on what we do. But it should remedy that long-standing problem over there. Both these grants would have a 20% match, which can come out of the paving fund, reserve fund, because the paving reserve fund should really be for a resurfacing fund, because that section of Airport Road is not paved, but it is a Class 2 road, and the paving fund has always been looked at as Class 2 road to match the state grant. We need to change that wording. But that would be a big plus. That's a road that we frequently get complaints on.
Where'd you say that went, Dave, from the end of where the blacktop is now?
Yeah, with the railroad crossing, just
Yeah,
past
would
the railroad crossing.
add that?
Yeah, and go all the way down to just about the beginning of Cider Mill. And we'll clear out that section there. In preliminary talks with the state engineers, we'd have to cut the road back in some because
Narrow it up.
it's spread out so wide now.
Yeah.
And put better, deeper ditches on the sides. And then you gotta just take up the road really and relay a base, fabric, and a layer of top coats on top.
And you're gonna pave that?
No, not for that much money. We've got to add a lot more on that. To pave the top of that, 2 coats, well, it was $104,000 to do a little bit more distance on East Road.
Yeah.
I can give you
Peckham was agreeable to provide a lot of material for that.
yeah, we've included that.
Good enough.
Yeah, because we included most of the base stone as something from Peckham.
Okay, good enough.
But they are figured on paving that or not?
No, not
Okay,
not
'cause
this
I would
amount.
never go for paving that.
No, not at this
Not with
amount,
them
no.
trucks on it and what that ground is.
Yeah, no, but this would go a long way to really addressing the situation, instead of just, I mean, we'll wind up putting a ton of stone in there, and actually multiple tons
Yeah.
of stone in
But I
there
mean,
again.
if you narrow it up, you really don't need ditches, they're gonna make their own with it.
Yeah, it's,
Run right away from it.
It's spread out, and I've done the same thing to avoid the mud in the middle. You kind of drive out on the edge, and the road is
Yeah.
just, and of course, the heavy trucks are just making mush of it too, so it's time, the scheduling of that, once we get the funds, we'll try and work that with Peckham's, because they have a pit there, and you want to make this all kind of work for everybody, so if we get the funding, we can address that and maybe get it done with. Okay. The last one is for a structures grant. This is to begin addressing this culvert up in Shaftsbury Hollow. Renaud Brothers, we sent them the hydraulic study. They said, that's just based on their experience and without more information, that a culvert of this size would cost between $250,000 and $375,000. So, what I talked to originally with the state on this is to put in a structures grant application, which is a 10% match for us, and put it in for like $50,000, and find out what's really going on. And first off, give us a time frame. Is this thing falling apart? Or maybe we have 15 years to think about how to fund this thing. Because at these prices, it's, although a culvert still, we only pay 10% if we get all the grants. But at these prices, we're going to have to get 3 consecutive years of maximum grants to do this. So,
And then
no-
you gotta, I mean, there's not much traffic over there.
no, I know.
In case you-
And this is part of the issue of, we've had the people from A&R come up, and they said, okay, you have to double the size of this, it has to be this high, it has to be this long span, it has to be this type of thing. We haven't had any engineers go up and also analyze this situation, and go, what is wrong with this bridge, or this culvert, I should say? Because when I was down at the state, I asked, is this dangerous? Has anyone looked at this? Nobody seems to think it's dangerous, so let's get hire an engineer, go up, make a plan so we actually know what we're asking about. And if it has to be replaced, and if it has to be this 20-foot span thing, we'll get some hard numbers, and then we can go to the state and say, this is a huge amount of money. And we also have an issue at B19, which is a bridge above that one, where we're going to have to get a permit from A&R, and I think the road crew can do this, but we have to, the river actually did move a little bit, and it's hitting an abutment and undermining it. There was a state crew that went up for me last week. It was part of looking for money. They might have money for us. So I said, yeah, if you might have money, go right ahead and look. So I haven't heard back from them yet, but we're going to pick 10 projects apparently in the county and work on them. So I said, yeah, I have a problem, bridge right there, go on up. So hopefully they'll have some money for it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this, but I think the only way to proceed with a project that is so expensive is to get hard facts on what we're looking for. And then we'll have to save to do that for a long time.
Doesn't it count for anything that culvert stayed there during Hurricane Irene?
The big problem is that, well, that's the other reason why it'd be helpful to have an engineer look at it and say the lifespan of this is 10 to 15 years, so we don't have to really sweat it. If we have to replace that, and that's the question, do we have to replace it? But if we replace it, it has to meet this new thing. With an engineer's report, our own engineer
Yeah.
looking at, studying the situation, we might be able to argue against what the A&R guy is saying about the width and everything. But right now,
Right.
we don't
But-
even have any way to counter what they're
Yeah.
saying.
See, there's two things, Dave.
Yeah.
That culvert was big enough so that it took Irene.
Yeah,
The bridge you're talking about above there, the water never went under that bridge. It went across the road before it got to the bridge.
yeah. And that one,
That's just a little bit of bridge up there. I mean, that thing is,
yeah.
it's only probably 2 feet high
Oh, is that
above
right?
the stream.
Is that right?
I mean, I hadn't been up there in quite a while, but I mean, I know that bridge you're talking about.
Yeah,
And it's just wood planks.
yeah,
It's hardwood bridge.
yeah. Well, even this culvert, it's hard for me to imagine the cost of this thing as you drive over it, and, I mean, it's just a little thing.
Well, when I saw it last summer, there was one, maybe 4-foot section. The bottom of the culvert had rusted out, and it was sticking up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and again, if you have some hard statements from our engineer and some hard things, we can begin to argue what really needs to be done. But right now, it's hard to even argue against, or even if it needs to be done. I mean, this thing was kind of ongoing I'm not really sure what got everybody up there, but it didn't overtop, it didn't clog during Irene, it didn't flood.
Oh,
But it is apparently rusting in the bottom of that old-style culvert. And I'd rather know if we really have to do something, or at least be able to argue with A&R that,
well, that
Look-
steel is more than a quarter of an inch thick in
Yeah.
that culvert.
but if it's going, it's going, and does that weaken the whole structure? I mean, you really need somebody to give us something to work on and to fight back. I mean, people have suggested, well, can't we just sleeve it? And that would be great, but I don't think anybody's going to allow us to do that.
I don't, there's not 15 houses above that.
I know.
Let it grow.
Yeah, and, you'd like to think that you could appeal to the state on a specific basis and say, this is a huge amount of money for a small town like this. Can't we just this one time patch the bottom of it like Ken was talking about before?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Because even if they give us the money, that's money that we're not spending on roads that a lot more people drive on.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a huge amount of money. But like I said, I think if we get some engineering reports on it, we can fight. We have some place to stand and go, look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And that's really it. There's most of the other things going on. Oh, we did get the $10,000 from the parks for Howard Park today, which kind of surprised me because I haven't started the work yet, but I guess we should get that going. That's really it at the moment. I think we covered anything else I would have brought up during the course of the meeting.
Okay. Was that an action I just heard there that we need to get some work going at Howard Park?
Well, the bids, I always intended to have out at mid-April, end of April, for the next meeting, put them out. And a lot of it, they can go up and look, but they're really not going to start the work for a while. And the Parks Committee, there's certain items, the tennis courts need to be done a specific way. The, the roofing and the fascia board stuff, that's just a simple bid. The electrical, I believe, is going to be taken care of by the Lions instead of us bidding it out, is what I understand.
Could be. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that, but it's possible.
Yeah. We've had some offers on some things,
So
so,
basically, there's a bid for this tennis courts, bid for the buildings, and a bid for the electrical, or?
the electrical, we may not need a bid at this point, but the tennis courts are going to be a big bid. There's equipment to buy. This water fountain thing, we're rethinking, because the cheapest, regular water fountain is almost $2,500, which seems ridiculous. Walter and Merritt and I were talking about maybe just the old-fashioned pipe out of the building with the little cup, and so when somebody whacks it off, we just screw a new one back on. Be a lot cheaper than $2,500, because even though it's rugged, will stand up to anything, it's like, well, maybe not. And once the 2,500's gone, the 2,500's gone. So we'll work on things. There's things, even in the grant, when we hit the top match at 10,000, there was still a laundry list of things to do. So we'll have no trouble. The grant money does have to be applied for what we spoke about, though. So the tennis courts will maybe get a better share of it now, because it would be nice to have those be stored up, the way that they should be. But we'll have those bids for the next meeting. And then we'll just put them out and get people working. I mean, the snow's almost melted, so should be soon.
Okay.
Almost.
Good. Any other business? Okay, the action items that I caught were, talking to Mike, I'm going to check with Tom on the DRB and make sure that minutes are getting updated the way they're supposed to, and get him to, we'll send a list to Dave of members of the DRB and get the website updated correctly. Dave, you're going to do what needs to be done to get the solid waste ordinance posted and warned in the proper places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, I will send in the paperwork to the state for the town health officer nomination for Jackie. Dave and I will look over the the financing for the town, the North Road property, and we will also send that to the attorney for review.
And then we've got to sign it. We want to sign that before the next meeting, is that right? Is that
Yeah.
what we want to sign before the next meeting?
Yeah, it's a dated document, although we could have them alter the dates on it. I was surprised
Yeah.
to put dates on it.
Yeah, we probably do. The sooner we get that signed, then we've got that first hurdle, and then the town attorney can start working up the paperwork for the closing on
Yeah.
that, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the bank dated it to begin April 10th, that we would
All
have
right,
it
I will
signed and
add,
sent back. and-
Yeah, so make sure you let us know when it's back here at the office.
it.
All right, so I will add that as an action for the select board to sign. And then, Dave, you said Howard Park bids, you wanted to start working on those when?
Oh, they'll be up for the 20th, for the meeting on the 20th. You'll be
Okay.
able to see those, and then we'll just put them out.
Okay. Okay, if no one has anything else, then I move that we go into executive session to discuss personnel.
Second.
Seconded by Mitch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.